Hello, and today we're going to be choosing which romance book I'm going to read next because I have been stuck. Basically, I finished my new book very recently and I have been in a kind of limbo state of trying to decide what I need to read next. I own a lot of books and it's always very hard for me to choose what to read next, but I have narrowed it down to 5. Option number 1 is this lovely book, which is My Vampire Plus One. I've just finished reading the first book, and this book continues with a romance between the best friend and another person. The best friend is the male lead's best friend, so I'm very interested because this character's already been introduced, and I'm very interested into reading it, and I'm going to read the blurb in a minute. On to option number 2, we have A Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Vampire. Now, this might be a common theme with vampires, but I blame the fact that I rewatched all the Twilight movies recently, and you can't really blame me for that. Next up, going away from vampires, we have a bit of dark romance with My Dark Romeo. I honestly love retellings of traditional stories and different people's ways of imagining it, and I am quite excited to read this one. And now back onto our theme of more vampires of the second book in the Filthy Rich Vampire series, we have Second Rep. Yeah. I honestly really like the last book. It left on a cliffhanger that upset me so much that I need to read this, but also at the same time I'm just like, I don't know if I'm ready for this level of vampire, because they didn't even do anything in the last book, honestly. They didn't even do anything. They just kind of beat around the bush, went to Paris, and the guy was like, no, I have to send her away for her own good. I'm like, am I that into brooding and mysterious at the minute or not? And then the last book, book number 5, we're going all the way to sports romance with Hockey, which is Behind the Net. I honestly love this author so much. I read her other one that's in this series like a couple months back, and I only recently got my hands on this, so I am tempted to read this one. Her writing style is really nice, and it's a duologue, so I'm very interested. But let's get into the blurbs of each one. Nothing sucks more than fake dating a vampire. Amelia Collins is tired of constantly questioning about her non-existent dating life, so she decides to get everyone off her back once and for all by finding someone, anyone, to pose as her date to her family's wedding. If he's annoying or embarrassing, so much the better. Coincidentally, Reginald Cleves has a century of experience at being rude, infuriating, arrogant, and a fashion eyesore, which makes him perfect for her purpose. But as Amelia and Reggie practice their Fomax and more, Reggie's secrets come to life. Amelia is surprised to find her first impression could have not been more wrong, and that Reggie barks might be worse than his bite. I really need to practice reading out loud more. Anyway, also I love how these books have little catchphrases underneath the title. So this one is, it started with dating. Now true love is at stake, which is very ironic because it's a steak. Okay, next one, which is A Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Vampire. Werewolf Ben Rose is happy with his life 100%. Everything is fine. His business is thriving. His anxiety disorder is, well, it's been better. As for romance, who has the time? But after a drunken bidding on and winning a supposed crystal online, he finds himself face to face with a beautiful, arrogant vampire. Eleanor Betker. I can't say the last name. I'm very sorry, but I really can't. It's a double-barrel last name, so all hope is out the window for me. It's a rare breed of vampire succubus. That explains the last name. Thanks to an evil witch, she's been stuck in a crystal, forced to obey the possessor of the rock. Eleanor has been dreaming of breaking the spell and severing the witch's head for centuries. So why did the witch sell her to someone new? Eleanor would claw this werewolf's heart out and eat it, if only the binding spell would allow her to. But Eleanor and Ben soon realise that they help each other with both vengeful and less hostile needs, and why not have a little fun along the way? This sounds interesting. I can tell what a lot of this book's going to have in it. I don't know if I want to read this quite yet. It's too early in the year for this. But anyway, on to the next book. We have My Dark Romeo. It was supposed to be a harmless kiss, a lavish debut ball, a clandestine moment with a handsome stranger, but unlike his namesake, my Romeo isn't driven by love. He's fueled by vengeance. To him, I'm a chess piece, leverage, his rival betrothed. To me, he is a man deserving of poison, a dark prince I refuse to marry. He thinks I will accept my fate, well, I plan to rewrite it. And in my story, Juliet doesn't die, but Romeo, he perishes. And this is why I like reading retellings, because I love the twist. It's kind of giving me the vibes of kind of Anne Juliet, but the musical, but very much darker. And before instead of after. Okay, and then we're on to Second Right, which is, it's been a month since Theodore Melbourne world was turned upside down by a vampire. Now she returned to San Francisco where her mother lies in a coma. I forgot her mother got comatose in the end of the last book. That kind of explains why she was sent home though. Struggling to return to her life she left behind, she sells off her gift cure to pay the bills, avoiding her concerned roommate, that's the word, and trying to forget the vampire who started it all. Julian, yet again, a word I cannot pronounce. Being dyslexic and liking books is so hard, honestly. Knows he should stay away from her name. I can't anymore, honestly. The problem is that she haunts his every thought. And when a new threat emerges, he faces the hardest choice he's had to make in 900 years. Pray that she's safer without him, or propose a new arrangement that keeps her by his side. One that forces him to confront their own dark secrets while resting in temptation to cross the line to claim each other forever. This is dramatic. This is giving Filthy Rich Asians, but someone said, nah, fuck it, we're going to do it vampire style. And then finally, we have Behind the Net. He's the hot, grumpy goalie, and I had a crush on in high school, and now I'm his live-in assistant. After my ex crushed my dreams in the music industry, I'm done with getting my heart broken. Working as an assistant for an NHL player was supposed to be an easy breeze, but nothing about Jamie's stretcher is easy. He's intimidating, hot, grumpy, and cannot stand me. Keeping things professional will be no problem, even when he demands I move in with him. Beneath his silliness, though, James is surprisingly sweet and protective. When he finds out my ex is terrible in bed, his competitive nature flares up, and he's encouraged and spoils me in every way. I see which way this book is going. The creative spark I used to feel about music is back. I'm writing songs again. Between wearing his jersey at games, fun rowdying parties with his team, and being brave on stage again, I'm falling for him. He could break my heart, but maybe I'm willing to take that chance. Okay, and there's all the blurbs. If you're expecting me to read the blurb properly, I'm very sorry, but you made it through all of this, and honestly, I can hear the words in my brain, but not coming out of my mouth. But anyway, so these are the choices of books. And now here's my question to you. Which book do I read this month? I'm leaning towards kind of the hockey one, or maybe the Dark Romeo one. And basically, whatever you say, or whatever is like the most, you should read this one. It's going to be like, okay, I'm going to read this one and give my opinions. So, tell me what I should read. But anyway, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed my weird way of reading things. But anyway, I'll see you all the next time I decide to post a video.